Last season, the Kansas Jayhawks got off to a shocking start. 5-0. Nobody's like, what the hell is going on here? What is up, everybody? It is Jake with Master Football back at it again. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to be updated on everything college football, pro football, Madden, EA college football, NFL draft, anything related to American football, hit that red subscribe button. You'll not be disappointed. Also, hit the like button too, and follow on Twitter or X, whatever. That fame is growing. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys, we got a big slate of college football games coming out. We just got done with week one. Previously had week zero. I actually really love week zero. Week one happened. Lots of big games, lots of exciting things. What Florida State did to LSU, really shocking out there. South Carolina. North Carolina went out there and won that game. However, we're looking at a couple big matchups this weekend. I think that one of them that I think is an underrated big matchup, it happens tonight, as a matter of fact. First, we're going to go through some of those big games tomorrow, and then the one that I think is an opportunity for a second coming out party for a certain team. So we've got a couple big games. Then again, I'm out here in Mountain Time. We see Notre Dame versus NC State. Notre Dame comes in as a 7.5-point favorite. Utah Baylor. We'll see if Baylor can get over their week one loss to Texas State. We also got a little bit of Nebraska versus Colorado. Colorado is favored by 3. However, they were favored by 3.5, meaning people are betting Nebraska. We also come down here, we check out the fact that, again, UNLV plays Michigan. I think they should be fine. An underrated matchup is in New Orleans, Louisiana. Tulane plays Ole Miss in, man, Tulane is hosting the SEC team. That's going to be a really good game. We also got Miami is hosting Texas A&M. Texas A&M is favored by 4. Iowa State. I took the under on that game. And then, a couple of big matchups. We also see the Alabama and Texas play. However, I mentioned before that we're talking about the second coming out of a certain team. We go up here to the top of the screen and we see tomorrow night, Friday, September 8th, or tonight, excuse me, is at 5:30 Mountain Standard Time, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. We have on ESPN2, Illinois is visiting the Kansas Jayhawks. And I want to talk about the Kansas Jayhawks because they are a rather unique team. Last season, the Kansas Jayhawks got off to a shocking start. 5-0. Nobody's like, what the hell is going on here? They were doing really well. Duke was doing really well. We're like, what the hell's with these educational basketball schools doing so well? They came out with their Wisconsin Whitewater former head coach Lance Leipold, who was doing such an amazing job that we're talking by October, he was already being rumored to be going to Wisconsin and Nebraska. So as early in the season as October 12th, it says Kansas's Lance Leipold addresses Nebraska and Wisconsin job openings. And again, we saw the whole situation with Nebraska at this point had lost to Georgia Southern. They were not doing a good spot. Wisconsin, they had gotten a little frustrated with their head coach, so they decided to let him go. Kansas at this point was 5-1, just losing to in a back and forth game with TCU. However, remember how I said we are looking for their second coming out party because we thought it was last season, but when we check out last season, let's just say it didn't end the way that they wanted it to. So like we said, Kansas comes out. Tennessee Tech doing really well. They 56-10. Won at West Virginia, and that was a shocking one. Won at Houston. Beat Duke. And again, Duke was 9-4 at the end of that season. Beat Iowa State. You're like, oh my God, these guys are killing it right now. They played TCU. Okay, then they have that situation. They go back and forth game and they lose. All right, then that's October 8th. October 12th, they have the article that comes out that says that Lance Leipold was talking about the Nebraska and the Wisconsin job. And then look what they do. Not only after they losing the game to TCU, they lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They lose 6 games to end that season. Start off the season 5-0, ended the season 6-7, ended the season on a 1-7 run, including their bowl game. Absolutely positively not the way that they wanted that season to turn out. Part of the reason why they were able to turn around so well was because, like we said before, Lance Leipold comes over, Wisconsin Whitewater. He's been there a couple years, but he comes out and he's like, yo, we're going to implement this new offense. And all of a sudden, starting in 2023, it's like, yo, dude, in the current Big 12, again, the current Big 12, not necessarily, we're talking about next year when they add in Colorado and Utah and Arizona State, but currently right now, you're in a situation where you're like, yo, dude, is Jalen Daniels the best quarterback in the Big 12? And he realistically is at this point. And as a matter of fact, even though he didn't play week 1, he is rumored to be coming back for week 2 tonight. So from Pete Thamel, here we go. Source, Kansas quarterback Jalen Daniels expected to play versus Illinois. And again, they talk about what he's done here. So he had tightness of his back. He missed the game. As source told ESPN, the staff has not determined if Daniels or backup Jason Mead will start against Illinois per source. Daniels is a preseason Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. And again, you like that's what I'm telling you right now. You never hear that about the Kansas Jayhawks when it comes to anything football related. It's usually basketball related, but this year they're absolutely doing amazing. They talk about the fact that he got off to a 5-0 start, and then he had a shoulder injury against TCU, and that's what hurt them down the stretch. 1-7 down the stretch. Remember, he threw for 2,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, and ran for 7 touchdowns and 425 yards in 9 games last season. He is a bona fide star. But again, I said that before. Kansas is trying to have their second coming out because, like we said before, that 5-0 start, they were ranked, everything was crazy. They lose to TCU in a back and forth game. That just kind of happens here. But then they didn't end the season the way that they wanted to. Looking up forward to this next season, do they have that same opportunity? Let's check it out. So seeing their schedule, they again week 1 against Missouri State, they won 48-17. The backup quarterback Bean had 276. They're just fine. They won that game. Now, Illinois was a surprising team last season that was almost in the Big Ten championship game against Michigan. Lost a couple games down the stretch. Again, they were 8-4. There was a lot of crazy tiebreakers between all those teams. So big game at home. It's going to be hot. It's going to be at night. We'll see what they can do. But then after that, if they're able to win this game, and they win at Nevada, they should be able to win at Nevada. Nevada is not a very good team. No offense to Nevada, it is what it is. Then they've got BYU at home in one of their first Big 12 games. At Texas is going to be a very tough game. But again, we'll see what Texas is tomorrow versus Alabama because we really don't know at this point. But after that, UCF, Oklahoma State, home against Oklahoma, at Iowa State, Texas Tech, Kansas State, and then Cincinnati. And again, I think those last 3 games, November 4th, 11th, and 18th, Iowa State, Texas Tech, and Kansas State are very underrated. I know that Iowa State, people give them crap because their offense isn't good, but I know their defense is really good, just the type of place at them in November, Iowa weather. We'll see how it goes, but it could be a situation where it could be, deleterious to their offensive production. But again, we see that right there. If they're able to leave September 4-1, think about that. That would be a loss probably to Texas, but a win at BYU. They've got UCF at home. They go to Cincinnati. They've got Texas Tech at home. They go at Oklahoma State. They've got a couple chances there. We'll see what happens. Is Jalen Daniels going to be the guy? Is Beanie going to come into the game? Who knows? But I do know, again, tonight is an important game because if they lose tonight, even if they beat Nevada, this looks like it's going to be a 500 season again. They win tonight, you've got an opportunity for 7-5, maybe 8-4. Roll the dice, 9-3, something like that. But you need to beat Illinois tonight if you want to have that. Like I said, we're calling this their second breaking out because last year you thought it was last season. You beat Duke, they're 5-0. They lost to TCU. You're like, oh, this team's going to be fine. 5-1, boom, end up 6-7. They have another opportunity here. We found out about them last season. Jalen Daniels is back. We'll see if they can do it because tonight against Illinois, if they want to be a team that's taken seriously in the next level of college football, whatever that is, whatever breakaway, whatever happens with, the Power 5 versus Power 4 versus Power 3, Power 2, Power 1, whatever it is, they want to be included. Winning home against Illinois will help that out. They're already trying with a couple of updates to their stadium too. This looks so cool, what they're trying to do with the stadium. For years and years and years, Kansas just has not cared at all. All it takes, the right coach, good quarterback, you're able to compete in a lot of leagues out there. Again, we saw this with Colorado. Add in some 5 stars. Again, that's a unique situation. But the resources at Kansas, they have all the resources in the world. This is an AAU institution. A lot of people thought they were going to be taken over to the Big Ten. If they're able to create this sort of a stadium environment for the Kansas Jayhawks, it would be absolutely shocking. Can they keep Lance Leipold? I don't know. Are they taking football more serious? 100%. Beating Illinois tonight will help that ascension about being more serious about football. So Jalen Daniels, stiff back, didn't play against Missouri State, going to be playing tonight against Illinois. Can Kansas, of all the teams, again, started off 5-0 last season, ended on a 1-7 run, ended of the season 6-7, a losing record after starting 5-0. They have another opportunity for a breakout here. They play Illinois at home. They should win this game if they want to take that next step. They're updating the stadium. They're part of the new Big 12. They're in a lot of good situations going forward as a football team. Can they take that next step to go kind of from where Kentucky football was like, yeah, it's whatever, to Kentucky football's pretty decent right now? Can Kansas do the same thing in the Big 12? Tonight is a big step for them. All right, guys, you get in the comments right now. What do you think about Kansas? Again, am I overreacting to this whole situation? I see the investment. I see the quarterback play. I see the head coach. I like where they're going. If they lose to Illinois, though, that really loses a lot of momentum that this program has from a football perspective. It's a great basketball school. It will always be a basketball school. However, you can make a little bit of both there. winning against Illinois, a Big Ten team, one of the team last season that was in line for the Big Ten West Championship. You're able to beat them at home. Really helps out that case. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Do all that stuff. I appreciate it. Except for me, guys. I'll see you guys later. I am out.